I have an update to a story we covered a few weeks ago. Remember the woman who was pulled over by the police? She showed them a white privilege card. They all laughed, ha ha ha, and they let her go. She didn't even have a license, and they let her go. Well, those officers are now disciplined, so to speak. Well, let me first remind you of the video. Here it is.
You like my white privilege card?
That's hilarious.
It's better.
Go through death. That's good. What's up?
Put up the picture full mass here of this particular individual who flashed a white privilege card and was able to get out of a ticket. So this was in Anchorage, all right? So Anchorage police officers violated department policy. They are now facing disciplinary action. That's according to a report. The woman you're looking at, her name is Mimi. Mimi is a Trump supporter. That card represents, hey, I'm a flaming Trump supporter. And so the other Trump supporters laughed at this and let her go, all right? Now, during the traffic stop last month when Mimi was in town for a Trump rally, rather than show them her driver's license, she showed them the white privilege card that you see and was not ticketed. Days after the traffic stop, Mimi said in a Facebook post that she was pulled over for weaving at 3:43 a.m. Weaving at 3:43 a.m. while driving to a pizzeria after an early morning flight from California for the rally. The novelty card reads, white privilege card trumps everything. All right, there you have it. We actually saw these being sold on Amazon. We covered that when they were there as well. Mimi, in her Twitter biography, described herself as Filipino origin. Anchorage Police Department Director of Community Relations, Sonny Gurin. Let's put up Sonny here. So Sonny says, based on the statement to the press, it's not clear what policy was violated or what, if any, disciplinary actions the officers face because the department is treating it as a confidential personnel matter. White privilege. Confidential personnel matter here, nothing to see, fellas. All right, this is covered. We're gonna file this over in the white privilege column. There's more. Officers Nicholas Bowe and Charles Worland with the Impaired Driving Enforcement Unit conducted a traffic stop on July 7th for a car weaving in the lane, according to Sonny. She didn't identify the driver, who she said showed a white privilege card during the stop. Officers, according to their current story, observed no signs of impairment. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that weaving in and out of traffic means you're showing no signs of impairment? Okay, there's more. No citations were issued, according to Sonny, added that the officers are able to check if a person has a valid license with the help of a computer check. That's to cover their asses because they never saw a driver's license, which Bowe and Worland did. Let's put up the chief and the deputy chief here. Okay, you got Chief Michael Curley and Deputy Chief Sean Case. Michael's on the left, Sean is on the right. At the time of the incident, the chief gave a very vague, flowery response as he wanted to, and I quote, personally address the community to provide some clarity regarding their internal standards of conduct. All right, so Case said, we recognize that some saw the post and believed it was in fact inappropriate. Worland and Bowe were placed on administrative leave during an 11-day investigation. Police would not provide additional information about the investigation, including which policies were violated and what, if any, repercussions the officers faced. The investigation regarding the incident is completed and is part of the confidential personnel files that will not be released publicly. Another police spokesperson said both officers remain employed with the department. Now, the last time I checked, police officers work for the public. They're paid by taxpayers. They do not work for a private corporation. They do not work for a private entity. They are, in fact, public servants. But all of a sudden, there's this confidential, top secret, nobody can get access to file with a public worker. Let's put up a picture of the guy behind much of this. This is your president of the police union. All right, this is Sergeant Jeremy Cockling, president of the police union. This president said officers have discretion and generally don't cite for minor offenses, like not having a physical license present. But she was swerving in and out of traffic. At least she should have been mandated to produce a driver's license. I'm not at all surprised they did not write a citation. I don't know that a lot of officers would have written that citation, if any. Well, you have not been pulled over, sir, by the cops that have pulled me over. However, Anchorage Municipal Code requires drivers carry a license while operating a vehicle. It is a requirement in their code. Okay, let's talk about this, Adrienne. So first of all, there's a top secret database, a top secret file, where they have basically enacted some type of discipline that nobody can lay their eyes on. Obviously, the woman violated the law for Anchorage, and these officers violated policy. What am I missing here?
Well, okay, so we know that officers have considerable discretion in terms of what laws they choose to enforce. It's just always interesting about who they choose to enforce them against.
Right.
And in this circumstance, you had a woman who is playing this white privilege thing and then also taking the photo with the officer with the white privilege card. That just seems foolish, as though social media doesn't exist and as if things don't go viral. That just seems really dumb, and that makes me feel like these officers should not be on the street anyway, because their judgment is so incredibly poor and also out of touch with our society as a whole. But then to see their superiors go ahead and provide no transparency whatsoever, and to essentially shield them from any kind of repercussions just by saying, oh, we're gonna take care of it. It really shows you how this system works. And we are really funding so much money and toward this protecting and serving that really just doesn't exist much.
Yeah, I mean, that damn white privilege card works so well. There's a secret file on their discipline.